Okay, this is another figure review, and this time it is of the Toy House Factory THF Sonic Wave, which is their take on Masterpiece Soundwave. So he is very clean in robot mode, there's literally no kibble. He is literally the same as the official Masterpiece in every way, apart from one. They've added a new piece, which I will get to in a minute. So for the articulation, you've got a double elbow joint. You've got wrist rotation, though on mine, this wrist seems to be a little loose. Just need to tighten that up. You can open the fingers, like so. So you can close part of it and have him pointing. If I can get the finger to pop out on its own. And I can't for some reason, that seems to be stuck. No, there we go, got it. Like so, so it's just one finger. You get 360 degrees at the shoulder with a interesting feature, which I'm not sure why he's got it, but you can have the arm move up sideways below the shoulder, but also you can move it up at the shoulder. So you could have it straight up like so. I'm not sure why they fitted a double hinge for the shoulder, but I like it. I think it's a nice addition. Now the head is on a pivot, so you can make him look up and down. It can rotate 360 degrees, mainly for transformation. His shoulder mounted turret can swivel and lift back for transformation. Legs, if I get the arms out of the way, can not go outwards very far. You actually only get one click outwards like that, which is a bit disappointing. It's mainly for the way it has to transform. But you can lift up his... Oh, no, maybe you can't lift that up. So it only comes forward that far. And back that far at the thigh, which is a bit disappointing for thigh movement. And this is the way it says to have the legs as well. Although if you were to rotate them outwards, then you can bend it there. So if I turn it around the right way, it would bend there at the thigh. But according to the instructions, it wants you to have the screw pegs facing outwards. Which I'm not sure feels right. Now, you get down to the knees, and they are ratcheted with 90 degrees of bend at the knee. Now, there is another joint here, so it can fold forward. That is for transformation. The feet can pivot down. You also get an ankle rocker joint, which bends the wrong way, but that's for transformation. Or you can pull slightly harder this way and it comes down on this double hinge, which I quite like. So that is articulation. Well, almost all of it, because I forgot that he's got waist swivel too. You can open the chest cavity by pushing the ejector button. The panel inside can push back and lock and will fire forward at the push of a button. That is so he can house multiple cassette tapes. Now he does come with a cassette, but I'm not putting him in his chest because it has a bit of a habit of getting stuck. And then it's just a lot of hassle for me getting it out. But I will get the cassette because I have him here. He comes with Laserbeak. And trying to transform this is going to be another hassle because the head gets stuck. So I'll try my best, and I've just got the head out. Right. Now this I bought second hand, and it feels, for Laserbeak, like he has never been transformed. The joints are still really stiff. There's no paint rubbing. So it looks like he may have just been displayed. So here is Laserbeak. He's very nicely done. He does have a pop-up camera on his head, which is that grey panel there. Not sure if I can get that to pop up, but I'll give it a go. No, I can move it a couple of millimeters, but it's not enough to pop it up. So I'll have to do that some other time. Now you can, if you can angle the arm, you get this little tab here. Well, that is the right size to tab into the lines on the bottom of his feet. So you can tab him to the arm of Soundwave, like so. So you can pose him however you want with Laserbeak or Buzzsaw if you have him on the arm. But it also matches the lines on the shoulder too. So you can, which I think is pretty cool, get him to stand on the shoulder. Like so. Oh, no, that's just tabbed out of place. There we go. So that is not coming off for anything, which I actually pretty like. That is a solid tab. So I'll just put Laserbeak to the side. I'll stand Soundwave there, and I will show you his accessories. So you get this, which is his classic gun, which you just transform like so. It's nice chrome plastic for the barrel. There's not really much I can say about this, but it is part of the transformation. So when I transform him, you do need to have this out, because it is part of his back. So not only is it a transformer, it's also technically a parts former. But it doesn't bother me. He does come with a very... I didn't want that bit. Does come with a very nice metal Megatron, which he can hold. The barrel, the scope, and the stock are all removable, like so. They just pull off. Other than the stock, which is actually on a little connector, so you have to slide it down to disengage it. Now, to put it into Soundwave's hand, I've noticed that you have to actually grab the handle of the gun and split it like so. Now you can put it into Soundwave's hand, and when it's in his hand, you just push it back together and close his hand around it. You will not get it in his hand like this, because you will end up breaking his thumb. You do get this little attachment as well. Now, it took me a little while to work out what it actually was, but this is for his hand. I believe it's actually a blaster. So if you don't want his hand out, you can basically transform the hand back, like so, and then you get these two tab slots emerge, which aligns up to the two pegs on here. So you can, if you can line it up, like so, have that going on. So he now has like a hand blaster, which I quite like. So I'll put that away. And I'll leave the hand away because I'm going to be transforming it anyway, so might as well leave it ready for that step. You also get a new chest plate cover. This, I believe, came with the original because he had cut out pictures that could go between this and his actual chest plate to look like he had images being projected onto the chest. Now, unfortunately, you don't get those images for this guy, but you still get the chest plate. And it literally just pushes on to the inside of the chest. And then you have that, which I quite like. It extends out the chest slightly as well. But I do like the cross-hatching on it, which is actually pretty nice. And then to remove, you just pop it off again. You also get a cassette case for Laserbeat. So it's just a pink translucent plastic cassette case. And you also get his final accessory, which is one of the biggest. You get a clear plastic energon cube. So you can recreate the scene when Soundwave was producing the energon from his chest. So all you do is you have to take off the lid, like so, because it is a box. And then if I can turn him around, you just angle it in, and it should just slot in place like so. There you go. So you have Soundwave from the scene in the show when he was producing energon. Now, when I got this guy, I did actually manage to find the cassette bot Rat Bat as well. So I have him hidden somewhere, but I forgot to get him to go into the review. So you're probably wanting a size comparison, and since this is not an official figure, I needed to get a non-official Masterpiece figure to go with it. So I have X-Transbot's Dead End, or Death Wish as they call him. I mean, they're not anywhere near the same size. As you can see, but they do scale together. They are Masterpiece scaled. And they do look very nice together. The only die cast on Soundwave is the feet. Now, like the official version, there's an opening panel on the inside of the feet here, which you can open to store Frenzy and Rumble's weapons. Unfortunately on mine, I cannot open them far enough to get anything inside. But they do open, but they're tight. So I will start the transformation process. And as I was saying, you do get an extra piece with this guy that the original didn't have, which is this piece here. You get an extra panel to hide the exposed back of the cassette player when he's in his cassette mode. Now, it doesn't really make any difference to me, but it is a nice little thing to have. Now, I get to that step where you need to have his gun, because you have his barrel go this side, and you have the gun which tabs into a little slot just up here. And it literally just acts as a gap filler, so you can then build around it. So now I can pop up the panels on the shoulders and start working my way around into cassette mode. Like so. He's got a very nice clean transformation. Everything goes where it should. nothing feels too loose. Although for the transformation you do have to make sure you've lined everything up and collapsed the legs as well. Collapsing the feet down is quite tricky, but when it does lock, it locks in tight. Same for getting the legs to lock against the body. And then I can tab in the extra panel to fill the side gap and the arms. But you do encounter the issue of knocking the gun out of place, which annoys me, but it is what it is. So try and get the arms to tab in place. Alright, so when you get everything lined up and in place, the last steps you should have is, if you've knocked the gun off, tab that back in, because it does fill the gap and make everything even. You also want to get the extra panel, make sure you have, actually not sure which way around it goes. I don't think it really matters which way around it goes, but you have moulded detail on either side. And then it just tabs into 2 screw holes. Okay, yes, it does matter. I've just noticed that the pegs are raised one way. There we go. So they only go in one way, and then it'll sit down flush, so you have this flap. That is the extra panel, which I don't mind, but it does even out the back. Now you can, for the last step, you have to push down, push up. Make sure it's all aligned, make sure everything's tabbed in securely. Now for me, the arms don't tab in place very well, but there is some resistance there. That is the cassette mode. It's a very nice little cassette player with the opening door still functioning. You do get a movable wheel this side, which doesn't move very far for me, and a slider, which takes a lot of force just to move it. Yeah, I can't even move that now. Oh, that's stuck. Yep. Oh well. So yeah, that's a bit tight because I can't move that all the way down now. But yeah, he is pretty heavy due to the die cast in the feet. He doesn't wobble in cassette mode at all, unlike some other figures, so he is not going anywhere. Now, you can put cassettes in the chest plate. He can hold up to 3 of them if you use the panel that's on the inside. Now, I'm going to attempt to put this guy in the chest plate. It might not work, but I'm going to give it a go anyway. So it's a case of lining up the slot. There you go. He's in the chest plate. And then all you do is push to eject. Normally it doesn't fire out. I'm surprised it did. But yeah, you literally just line up, close, push. Now there are no die-cast parts on these other than the pins holding everything together. So that is the THF Sonic Wave. So thank you for watching, and I will be back sometime with another review. See ya!